Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show! Wow, where do I go from here? I will have some announcements and a recap for all of you, but first we're going to do a quick round of player introductions, starting with Nick.
Hi, I'm Nick, and I play Embers of White Ash, the Sun Salt Tabaxi Monk.
Hi, I'm Kay, and I play Lady Owen Amalos, who is the Circle of the Land Elvish Druid.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm going to play tonight.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Vertnor Oranglass, the Changeling Armorer Artificer.
That's the way he always sounds.
Mm-hmm. That is Vert's voice.
That's his new disguise.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot!
Oh my god! No.
What?
Okay, we're good. We're good with that.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess the first announcement, as I dive into announcements, is we're back to playing live in person, so there will be probably some changes and some, if there's issues that pop up, just bear with us. We're sorting it all out. We have dogs in the room again, so we will figure it all out. Just bear with us. We premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We, throughout the show, use a variety of custom items, and we used to use a custom pixie lineage, but Tuppence is not around anymore. The character portraits, which you'll see all over the info cards and the rest of the layout, were drawn by an artist named Krista Porter. I don't need that info yet. Okay.
No.
Who you can find at Krista Porter on Twitter. If you need a refresher on anything that's going on in the campaign, we have a campaign wiki at World Anvil, which is like 95% up to date with the end of our last season. I'm working on catching it up. It's almost there. We're also going to put together and release a recap video for the last season of the show. We haven't quite finished it yet, but it's in the works. So stay tuned. Other than that, you can check the video description for links to things like things we care about, like Stop Asian Hate and Black Lives Matter resources. Other than that, you can follow us on Twitter at Antiheroes Anon, and we just hope you enjoy the show, share with your friends, and come back to watch some more. And that's it for announcements. That was pretty painless, so let's roll the intro video. Previously on Antiheroes Anonymous, the group known as the Silver Seekers came together, starting by taking some odd jobs in a coastline city in the Stratian Empire known as Port Horizon Shroud. After a sort of long and arduous set of activities there, they received a reward for securing a cache of Dragon's Breath from a foe named Kashura and the League of Terrors that she belongs to. And the reward that they received was a deed to a keep in the city of Amberhearth, which is in the state of Ardelir, which was a little ways to the north from where they were. So they made a long journey north in which they stopped a horde of frozen zombies in a small set of towns called Twin Towns. And also aided a wayward alien or two in the capital. Man, we're off to a good start. The capital city of Sergil, the state that they were in at the moment. And they also did a bunch of research at a library known as the Argent Athenaeum, and where they learned all they could about a variety of topics. While they were there, they also clashed again with the League of Terrors. But now, after this long and arduous journey, the Seekers are finally home. They've arrived in Amberhearth. But there is a major problem. Amberhearth has been overrun with giant ants, which are streaming forth from anthills that erupted out of the ground. Before the Silver Seekers can settle in, it seems that they have a big job on their hands. So I will set the scene. Oh, and we have music again, so I will put up some music.
Yay, music!
Woo! Let me do it. I'm not going to forget. Suspense.
Suspense.
Is this a good one? No, that's too exciting.
Very Marvel.
Yep. This seems good. The group of you stand on the sort of ridge of a valley looking down on the city of Amberhearth. It's a small city, large town, somewhere sort of in the middle. But as you're looking down into it, you can see that the entire town is in a state of chaos, disrepair, and crisis. There are large anthills that you can see erupting from the ground in 4 or 5 locations across the city. And ants, which even at this distance you can tell are probably the size of people, are pouring forth from these anthills and walking in organized columns down streets and pulling apart buildings and basically sort of wreaking havoc on this town and sort of spreading out across it. Almost as distressing as that, the winds in the region are tempestuous. You find yourselves buffeted by these incredibly strong winds that seem to be, from what you can tell, erupting up from underneath the ground out of the anthills. It's not enough that, like trees or things like that are being blown at you, or you're not in any danger, but it is the sort of wind where you kind of have to close your eyes against it, and you can just feel it constantly blowing against you and pushing you. Off in the distance, sort of a little ways away from the town, up to the northwest, you can see a structure. It looks to be probably 2, maybe 3 stories tall, mostly made of stone, it looks like. An imperious keep that sort of looks down over the town. It's situated on a hill in the middle of a forest of trees, looking down over the city itself. And you would know from the deed that you've clutched and brought this entire way that that is your new home. What would you like to do?
Does it look like the hill is away from the anthills and outside of the destruction?
It's up away from the anthills and outside of the town, sort of looking down over all of it. Actually, before we get into what you would like to do, why don't we do a quick round of descriptions for who's in the party looking down on this scene. We can start with Embers.
Okay. I guess it's been a while since we played these characters. Are you looking for like full character description?
And
Just
if people are
something brief.
jumping
Or
in
okay. Yeah,
for the first time.
So Embers is, I think, probably standing in the back of these two because she's taller and she can see right over them. She's this white furred tabaxi woman in kind of like this tattered tunic. She's frowning and not looking at the city right now so much as looking out in the distance to the keep, and then like looking back to the city and back to the keep, and just kind of like has her hand on her chin, is like.
Okay. I'll go next. My character Elwyn is a short, willowy elf with slate blue skin and pearlescent white hair that's up in a messy bun. She normally wears this big, fluffy winter cloak, but she's taken that off now that they're out of the cold southern state of Sergil. And so she's just in her nice blue long sleeve dress with her dark gray leather armor. And she has this staff of white birch topped with a giant blue ice-like crystal. And she is staring at the winds and the ants, and she has this very kind of grossed out look on her face.
I hope that one of the ants is Melissa's character, but
I mean, we'll find out, won't we?
Vert, who is a changeling, previously Coco, previously Byrant, previously Rook, and currently he is a short-statured tiefling woman who he has named Rhyme, and she is a kind of like a faded purple-skinned tiefling. Her horns are similar to like deer antlers. They have multiple points, and then she's wearing, I'm gonna screw this up because I don't know women's clothing that well, but she has like like a blouse and like a vest over it, and then just some like nice traveler's pants, something for like kind of a rugged environment. And Vert has a lot of different pieces of apparel in his like wardrobe, basically, that he carries around. That is sort of a I don't know, special item that we made. So he just has like, he basically outfitted one or multiple sections for his different disguises, and this is one of them. And I would also like to roll a perception check.
Sure. Go for it.
Okay, I would like to... What is that? No, that's not very good. That's an 11. With the bonus, it's an 11, but that is... I'm looking for seeing if these torrents of wind coming out of the ground, if they are also carrying like ants with them, or what's coming out of the ground.
As you observe the situation down in the town, even with that roll, you can see that the ants themselves seem to be weathering the winds without too much trouble. Something about, I don't know, you might not know that much about ants, but they seem to be able to cling to whatever surface they're climbing on, and so the wind doesn't seem to be troubling them too much as they climb up and down these anthills. The main clue that the wind is coming up out of there is the dirt and leaves and grass in the areas around the anthills that are all just being blown in the wind.
Okay. So it's not just upwards, it's like up and out? Like
Yeah, it's
like,
up and out, and it's whipping kind of all
so
around
like
in this
kind of
tempestuous...
like a tornado, sort of?
a
Like
little
just
bit, yeah.
swirling? Okay. Huh.
Like a giant dust devil.
Oh, gross.
The other figures who stand with you on the ridge are, of course, the former Imperial Warden, kind of clad in his plate armor, with his long sword at his side and his big shield on his back. This white dragonborn with the kind of bulky build. Your lovely, big brawny dummy, Torin Brenworm.
Himbo. I
Yeah,
prefer
himbo is the term.
What's himbo stand for?
It's like a him
Bimbo,
bimbo.
but a male. Himbo.
Yeah.
Oh my
himbo.
gosh,
Yeah.
is that really a thing?
That's
Yes,
a thing.
It's
Yeah.
a thing.
I've
Uh-huh.
never heard of that before.
Oh, it's a thing.
I thought it like was an acronym, and I didn't know we had an acronym for Torin. Huge. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
huge,
Invulnerable.
invulnerable, meathead
Mm-hmm.
boy,
Sure.
obviously.
Ship it.
Himbo.
Yep. And probably I don't know where Malt would have taken up residence. He might be still
the
kind
cart,
of sitting
maybe?
in the wagon in the
Yeah.
cart, but you have this kind of cream and slightly greenish colored scaled drake that is a little bit plump around the belly, that has traveled with you all this way, and then finally around Elwyn's shoulders,
Around Ellen's,
probably
probably around her neck and shoulders and in her hair and constantly.
is another small drake, much skinnier build, definitely a juvenile creature, more like cloudy sky gray colors, and I think it had blue eyes. No, it had grayish eyes maybe. I can't remember, but Cupcake, the messenger drake, has
Hungry-eyed.
bonded hard to Elwyn and is
Yeah.
sitting on her shoulders.
Probably chewing on her earrings every
Yeah.
once in a while, you know.
Now that we've seen the scene, what would you like to do?
Well, home sweet home.
Well, I knew we were walking into a problem, but I have to say this is probably pretty low on the list of things I was expecting.
Yeah, I know that they told us a lot about how Amberhearth was in trouble, but I kind of thought that it would be like bandits or something, you know?
Yeah, well, I don't even know where to start, but it looks like maybe the keep is untouched.
We could try getting there first.
We could at least unload our things and, I don't know, think about next steps.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Sounds good to me, Torin says.
Should we go through the town, or
Oh, no.
No,
we're just gonna just?
no. But, you know, I could send one of my companions out to do some recon if we needed to.
That'd be useful, I think.
Either now or after we get to the keep, or...
Yeah, let's wait. No sense drawing attention to ourselves.
That's true. There has to be a reason they haven't touched the keep yet, right?
Who can fathom what an ant's thinking?
I don't really want to answer that question. Come on, let's go.
Okay. So you begin to skirt your way sort of north and westward around the town. As you make your way that direction, there's a small path off the main road that seems to go directly westward. And from your vantage point higher up, you probably could have seen that road leads to what looks like an entrance to a mine or something like that. You begin to make your way north, kind of following the tree line of the forest that surrounds Amberhearth on 3 of its 4 sides. And you make your way past, or up next to, what looks like it was probably once a quarry that has been kind of filled in with water, and it's now sort of a pond or a small lake. Following the tree line, could the group of you make me a group stealth check?
Oh, can I cast Pass Without Trace, please?
You sure can.
Good call.
Yep, I'm gonna do that. Because we need that help. We need as much help
Well,
as we
some
can
of you
get.
do.
Pass Without Trace.
I got a dirty 20.
Of course. Okay. Ooh, first roll of the new season. Which die should I use? Which one will not screw me over?
That was really loud.
Well, it was my metal one. Hey, that was pretty good.
I get advantage with my infiltrator. I needed it because
You
I
get
got a
plus
7
10.
and 8.
Plus 10.
Alright, 30.
Okay,
29.
really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess I should roll for Torin.
Plus 10, don't forget.
Plus 10, I won't forget, no.
I got 22.
22, that's pretty good. Torin got 21. So, the group of you managed to make your way around the forest without drawing the attention of any ants, it seems. There's a couple times where you have to kind of retreat back into the forest a little ways. And the forest itself is kind of a nice mix of like evergreen trees and deciduous trees. But by doing so, you circumnavigate all of the ants and you make your way up the hill towards this keep, stepping over, there's a couple places where there's some flower patches, there's some mushrooms and things like that that seem to be growing around the keep. And you find yourselves standing in front of what looks like it's kind of a 2.5 story structure. I say 2.5 because it looks like there's a roof area among the like parapets of the keep. It has a couple arrow slits in the towers to the sides of it. It's a mostly square structure, but it does have towers built into it at its 4 corners. And I will drag you to the map for it.
Ahoy!
I know, I love roofs too.
Oh my
We have a roof.
You know, that was silent for a reason. You didn't have to call that out.
Okay.
So the group of you are down here in the southern area. You'll
Okay.
probably have to move down to there.
I'll find us.
This one. Oh.
There we go.
There you are. You pull your cart up next to the hedges, kind of situating it on the opposite side from what looks like a well that you could probably draw water from. The path leads directly to the entrance, which is a set of wide, dark wood double doors. All is quiet.
Did we get any kind of key to the keep along with the deed, or just the deed?
You probably would have gotten a key. I'll say you got a key.
Yeah.
All right.
Good call.
Well, shall we just go in, or?
Embers is gonna go up to the door and listen, see if she can hear anything
Sure.
scuttling away in there.
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
I'm still concentrating on pass without trace in case that becomes relevant.
Let's see. It's 18.
18. That's pretty good. But there's thick stone walls. I don't think you hear anything just yet. All seems quiet for the moment, at least.
All right. I think we're good. Then we can go in.
All right. Do you want to do the honors?
It's not my keep.
It's our key, but
Well,
I mean, you can open the door if you want.
oh, okay.
Lead the way.
All right, give me the key.
Here you go.
And Embers like puts the key in and turns it, opens the door.
It kind of creaks a little bit from maybe a little bit of unuse. But it opens up into a little bit of a foyer area. There are some torch sconces on the walls to either side of the door, but they don't seem to be lit at the moment. There are two doorways leading into rooms immediately in front of you. But directly in front of you, there is actually a big staircase that seems to go up to the second floor. And I am trying to do the polygon reveal, but it's not letting me for some reason.
Bane of our existence.
It's a tricksy one.
Okay. Let's just reveal it little by little here.
Oh, shit.
And you guys can move yourselves in. I figured we'd do this as a little bit of a dungeon crawl as you kind of explore.
How much in disrepair is it? Is it?
Roll a perception check.
All right. I can do that. This
Or even,
Investigation?
yeah, investigation if you want, if that's better.
Oh, I think perception is way better.
Okay.
Yes. That's really good too. That is 23.
Things actually look relatively well cared for. There's cobwebs and things in corners, but it's not like there's a serious layer of dust on the floor. There's not like debris or rubble anywhere. It looks relatively well cared for. I need something now from Charm, though. Can you roll me a perception check?
I got a 10.
Okay. I'm going to cut scenes for a second here. On the second floor of the Amberhold, a group of 3 people sit in kind of a sitting room. One of them is a woman in sort of forest green and burnt orange leather outfit with a mask down over her face that has kind of neon orange bug-like eyes and little antennas coming out from it. She's told you to call her Night Mantis, so that's what she goes by. The other person, let me pull up a description here. Where? The other person, Dot Drake Marble Shoulder, is a male dwarf he's got kind of really kind brown eyes, a really, really big and pronounced nose, kind of bulbous. He's got rough, weathered-looking, brownish skin, curly blonde hair, and a really close-trimmed beard, which really brings out his golden eyes. And the three of you are sitting in a sitting room up on the second floor of this keep, trying to think about what your next move should be. And Night Mantis suddenly sits up from her position, reclining back in one of the sort of lounge chairs, and says, "Everyone quiet. I just heard something. Someone opened the door downstairs." Do you want to describe the third character in the room?
Okay. Her name is Char, and she is a Swarm Keeper Ranger, and she's a Thrycreen.
A what?
Thrycreen,
Green.
which is a bug person.
Oh,
So-
that's cool.
Her skin is kind of like tan color. She's got antenna. She's got 2 major arms and another set of small arms. And she's kind of got this desert wanderer look about her. And she has also a swarm of bees that she likes to keep with her.
And the little bees are just kind of buzzing around the room gently. Sometimes they land on the various individuals in the room, just kind of settle there for a bit.
And she's got like little charms on the end of her antenna, so she looks very friendly and approachable.
What does Charm do when Night Mantis says this?
Okay. She can't speak, so she has to communicate telepathically with people. So she'll say, "I didn't hear anything."
You're gonna have to say that louder so the mic will pick you up, though.
Night Mantis looks over in Charm's direction and kind of shakes her head and says, "I'll never really get used to that. You two stay here. I'll go check it out." And she kind of creeps towards the stairway downward. Back to the group of you. What would you like to do?
I assume I didn't pick up any of that conversation with my perception check.
What was your... It was...
It was like 23.
You hear a floorboard creak on the floor above you.
Y'all, I don't think we're alone here.
But the door was locked.
I heard a creak from upstairs. We ought to be a little bit careful.
Yeah. Should we find cover?
Maybe.
Alright.
I don't
Embers
know.
is gonna like walk to one side and like take like an ambush position on one side of the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could try to be diplomatic, but we can hide until we know what we're dealing with. What do you think?
Yeah, Vert will take up the other side.
Oh dear.
And like,
Why don't you be diplomatic and we'll be there in case?
Okay. All right. Hello? Is anyone home? I don't mean do any harm. I have a deed to this place.
Looking up the stairs, you can see someone, like a shadow, darts across the landing at the top of the stairs and sort of takes a cover position at the top of the stairs, and then you hear a voice come down and it says, "Who are you? Why are you here?"
Do I recognize the voice?
Roll a... I don't know what to call this check. Just roll a d20.
Oh boy.
D20 check.
Oh boy. Oh no.
It's a luck check.
It's a luck check. I'm gonna throw that across the room. That's a 4! I left my jail upstairs.
Do I
not at
recognize
this-
the voice?
Well, you can roll a d20 too if you want.
God dang it.
That's a 19 on the dice. On the luck check.
Yeah, so Elwyn, probably not, but Vert, it sets off that alarm bell in your head that you
Yeah.
immediately you recognize who this voice belongs
So,
to.
hey, she will turn her head around the wall and be like, Night Mantis?
There's a little bit of silence from upstairs at first, but then Elwyn, as you're standing at the bottom of it, you see that mantis-shaped mask with the kind of bug-like neon orange goggles poke a head around a corner.
Oh, thank the gods. We've been looking all over for you.
Is that you, Elwyn?
Yes.
Who
Are
is it? Who is that?
It's a long story. Are you
What?
alone here? Did you know we would be coming?
She stands up from her cover position and holsters 2 pistols, which she was clearly getting ready to shoot down at you.
Yep.
And
It
kind
tracks.
of saunters down the stairs. And as she kind of gets to the middle of the stairway where she's got a good view of all of you and you've got a view of her, she takes in the sight and says, "It is you. Ah, well, that'll be a lot of help. No, I'm not alone. We're just up here trying to figure out what to do about these damn ants."
Yeah, well, then we're on the same side in this. We just arrived in town, and this is our keep.
Is she from Ient?
No. No, Amber, sorry. We met Night Mantis back in Port Horizon Shroud.
Who's we?
Well, Rook's not here right now, but,
Oh, okay.
you know.
Night Mantis takes in the group of you, and her eyes alight on Torin, and she kind of makes eye contact with Elwyn and says, "Oh, it's too bad that Rook isn't here right now." And then the eyes kind of flicker over to Vert in the current form.
Yeah, I'm sure Rook would have loved to see you again. Unfortunately, we had to leave him behind in Twin Towns.
Ember's just nods.
Well, I've got an ally in trying to do something about this. You might as well come up here and meet her.
Great. Great. It's alright, y'all. We can trust her.
Okay. If you say so.
I think so.
Let me pull you over to floor 2.
Oh boy.
Can you see? You can't see anything. Okay.
Yeah, you're seeing what I'm seeing.
He's dark. There we go.
And
So I forgot to
there's-
pay the power bill.
Well, we just inherited the place. Take a while to
There's
set up
a-
utilities.
there's like a sitting room ahead, directly ahead of you. And if you go into there, I will reveal a few characters from the GM info layer.
Whoa.
There we
Oh
go.
no. Oh no.
Relearning how to use Roll20.
What did you do?
I need a mouse. I forgot to get one.
She blends in with the carpet.
Yep. So you see the insect-like figure that Melissa kindly described for us, kind of wearing her yellow hood and scarf, with bees floating around her.
Oh my goodness.
And Night Mantis kind of strides into the room and sort of stands opposite a table which has a chess set on it. No, it's a book. I will show you.
Maybe it's a book about chess.
Ethan, this map is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
I put
cool.
a lot of work into this keep.
It shows.
Yeah.
Looks very cozy.
I will show you Night Mantis' new art.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
I can't see it.
It's so
No,
pretty.
Wait a second. I want to see it. Wow, that is really good.
This was done by my friend Emily, whose info I will put in the description.
Wow.
Right, right.
And then I will show you the sprite for Charm. There she is.
Oh.
Zach, have you flipped on Charm's
Mhm.
picture in the overlay? Okay, so
Yep.
everyone's seen the art too. That's
Yep.
fantastic. So these are the people that you see sort of in this sitting room area. gathered around this table. And there's also the dwarf I described earlier, who just kind of waves at you in a friendly manner as you come in.
What? Hello? Hi. We are the Silver Seekers, and we're here to help.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, he says in kind of a gravelly voice. My name's Dot Drake, but most people call me Dot, so you can go ahead and do that too.
Dot. It's nice to meet you.
Yep, and this one here, she's Charm. Don't be alarmed, she's gonna talk in your brain thing.
Oh, well, I reckon we're all used to that. Except maybe Embers.
What?
She doesn't quite have lips, you see, so... Go on, Charm, introduce yourself.
Greetings.
Amber spins around.
Kind of tickles, doesn't it? You'll get used to it.
Oh, that's you. Oh, okay. Hi.
Are you talking to all of us at once, or just...
Mhm.
Oh.
Embers thinks real hard. Hi, I'm Embers.
I don't know, does it work both ways?
Mhm.
I think it
'Cause that's-
does.
She can communicate with anybody, regardless of language, telepathically.
But is it one-way communication
Mhm.
with anybody? Like just sending a message through?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. I think it's both ways.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't speak all the languages, but I can understand telepathically all the languages.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
That's what I understood.
Yeah, you create a telepathic link, so I'd say it goes both ways.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Lady Elwyn Amelos, heir to House Amelos, minister of the Old Faith and shepherd of the Tundra. It is a pleasure to meet you. You may call me Elwyn. Please.
Thank you very much. I've been here. You said you own the deed to this place?
Yeah, we came up because we acquired the deed to this keep. How long y'all been staying here?
Well, the owner asked me to keep an eye out on it and kind of keep up the upkeep on it, but I guess I'm out of a job now.
Well, not necessarily. Let's solve one problem at a time. Sorry, let me introduce the rest of my friends here. This is Embers of White Ash, and Rhyme? You said it earlier? Rhyme? And Rhyme, and Torin,
Hello.
and did we leave Malt in the cart? Or is Malt with
Malt
us?
probably would have come with.
Yeah? Malt, and this here little one here is Cupcake.
Just kind of burbles at its own name.
That's a good girl, Cupcake.
She kind of bites at your ear as if she's expecting a treat now.
I give her something out of my bag. Like, without even really thinking about it. Like, it's already a
to
habit.
Cupcake.
Yep, treat
Yep.
to Cupcake.
Charm approaches you and kind of nods to see if it's okay, and she lets her bees fly around Cupcake so that they can get to know each other.
Yeah, sure. Wow.
Cupcake
To see-
bites at the
to see
beans.
if he minds. To see if he minds.
Do
So
I-
misses.
Recognize these as being spirits, or...
Roll a nature check.
Sure.
This is kind of your forte, so I'll even give you advantage.
Wee! Thank you. How kind.
Embers is now thinking at Dot. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, good thing I had that advantage. That's 23.
Charm will answer you back.
Yeah, I think you would know the
No.
nature of these
Oh.
bees. They aren't really physical. They aren't really corporeal. They are they're some sort of spirit or
Have I ever
summoned
seen
creature.
anything like this before? I
Your-
mean, I
your
know there were
familiars kind
plenty
like
of...
this, so
Yeah, that's true. There are also, I know, plenty of rangers back
Mhm.
home. Were there rangers that did the same kind of thing?
probably. Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
there's probably one or two.
Okay.
At least.
All right. So, yeah, I'll just watch and kind of raise my hand up to kind of interact with the bees a little bit and just smile. And these are very fascinating. Beautiful creatures.
Thank you, my friend Dot and I. We are beekeepers.
I see.
Yeah, that's true. We manage. Well, we managed before, all of this. A nice little place called Dot's Hives. Just a nice little apiary. in the
Well, that
city.
sounds wonderful.
Making honey, wax for candles and stuff.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Business is not so good now, I take it.
Nope, it's terrible. But that's okay. I mean, I've got a roof over my head. Charm over here can get food if we need it, so...
Are you the last 3 people in the city?
Night Mantis chimes in and says, as far as I know, pretty much everyone else fled or was... I don't know if there were any casualties in the initial outburst, but as far as I'm aware, yes. And we've done a few scouting forays. We haven't gone down any of the tunnels, but... Yeah.
How long have you been here, Night Mantis?
Oh, just a couple of weeks, I think. Been working with Charm over here to try and scout out the area and try and figure out the best approach to... I think we need to get down into the anthills to do anything meaningful. We've had skirmishes with the ants, but it doesn't really do much.
I was afraid of that.
I mean, you seen the size of them?
Yeah, we did. From afar. Not up close and personal, but... Well, our whole business is helping people and fixing problems like this, so this is exactly the type of thing that we are capable of handling.
Night Mantis goes into one of the rooms nearby and comes back with like a framed picture, which she sets on the table, and when she does, you can see that it's a map of the town done in sort of an artistic style, and she points to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations on the map. There's one that's in kind of the middle of what looks like maybe a market square. She points to one in sort of roughly the center of town next to a big like town hall building. One on the southeastern edge, one on the southwestern edge, and one on the northwestern edge. And she says, these are the locations of the anthills that we've managed to scout out. Honestly, I don't know what the best approach is, but we need to get down one of them. Some of them see more activity than the others, but some of them are also seem to be maybe deeper than the others.
Do you think they're all connected underneath? Does it really matter?
She looks over towards Charm.
They remind me of my my home in this Spellscar Desert. I imagine there are tunnels linking. Who knows how long?
Sorry, did you say you're from the desert?
Yes.
Do you... I think like Embers looks at Ellen and then like shifts her gaze over to Rhyme.
I'm not following.
Is that unusual? I don't really know anything about the desert other than what Squall told us.
I until today I thought nobody was from the desert.
Other than magical creatures of some kind.
Night Mantis nods and says, yeah, that was a bit of a shock to me at first, too. Charm and Dot over here are the first 2 I've ever met that were from there, but...
Wait, you too?
Yeah, me too. Different parts of the desert from Charm, but we came here together.
Oh. Okay.
It's really not that bad of a place. I mean...
Amber's, considering everything we've seen in the last few weeks, this is really something that's going to surprise you?
It's just... listen, I grew up most of my life thinking I knew a certain thing, and today I find out I didn't know anything. That's all.
That's fair.
I feel like this is going to happen a lot, though, so you're right, I shouldn't be surprised.
I mean, after your chicken, nothing will surprise
It was
you.
chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, it's really no big surprise that folks don't know that people live in the Spellscar Desert. We kind of keep to ourselves, and, I mean, most of us live in caves or canyons or what have you. Really not a hospitable place, but it's livable if you do it right. So, yeah, some of us do it right.
Oh, great. Well, as far as
I
this...
hope you don't think I'm unworthy
Oh, no.
to be here.
Of course not.
I mean,
I'm not, offended. I'm not disgusted. I'm just very surprised.
But because I'm very friendly, I don't mean you any harm.
Roll a
Insight check.
persuasion check.
Insight check.
The tower's really loud, by the way, on the mic.
I think that was expected, though.
I mean, isn't that fine?
It's
I
cool.
don't know.
So
I
mine has to
I like a
be
big,
Crusade,
loud
mine
rolling
didn't
die.
Try it.
I mean, you can roll one if you want. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Just a persuasion or something. I don't know. Charisma.
Charisma?
Persuasion or intimidation, I guess.
I have a +10 to insight. I just want to throw that out there.
No.
No. I rolled really well this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
25.
Okay, it beats my 16.
Right, so you can decide what she finds out from that.
She's very, very, very hard to read because I just have this, shell, like an armored shell. So, you want to believe her.
Okay.
Maybe across the telepathic link, is there some sort of feeling of friendship that comes
Or
across as well?
honesty, or
That's the vibe she's trying to put out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you might pick up that she's putting out a vibe, but doing it intentionally, and it seems friendly.
then I'll just look at Embers and nod.
Well, anyway, I have kept chambers ready in case any wanderers from the village, from the town below came up, but so far nobody but you all have come here.
Are there, is there a stable on the premises? We have a couple of horses who could really,
Use a rest.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like a full stable building, but there is a structure that can house horses. So yeah, you can put them in there.
I'll take care of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go down and tend to the horses. Get them all.
Yeah,
Taking care of it.
Night Mantis is kind of staring at this map on the table, and she's kind of being a little bit silent, but occasionally her gaze flicks up towards Rhyme. Dot kind of looks around the room in the silence that begins to descend and says, "Well, clearly we're not going to get any more planning done just yet. Why don't a group of you take a look around, get your horses settled in a little bit, and well, I'm no use at this stuff anyways, so I'll probably go to the kitchens and maybe I'll pop in while you're planning later." And Dot kind of stands up and excuses himself.
I'd be happy to show you around unless you'd like to poke around on your own. I mean, I don't want to bug you.
Bug you.
Embers looks very uncomfortable, not having any idea whether that was a joke it's okay to laugh at, or what.
Torin laughs. Bug you!
I get it.
That was intentional, right? That was a joke?
Okay. What joke?
Oh, I thought it was a joke. Never mind. You can see he's holding his mouth shut.
I would love a tour if, you know the place better than we do. You know all the fun things to show.
Great. Follow me. I'll take you to my favorite parts first.
Okay.
Ryman's gonna send a message to Night Mantis before they leave and say, we'll have to find some time to catch up.
You can see that she kind of glances up at you and just kind of gives a little nod, a little subtle nod.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys just want to? We can just abstract this until you guys have something you want to react to.
Sure.
So I will just drag you back to the first floor, and I think I'll pretty much just reveal everything, and we can go through it, but room by room, what everything is.
Okay.
Great.
Come on, let me reveal.
I like this music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I'm still on Polygon Reveal, that's why. I'm not reveal area.
Polygon Reveal!
Fan for existence.
There we go.
Whoa.
Wing! Okay, so...
The floors.
We'll start on the left side here. You've got a tower room in the bottom left. It looks like it's mostly storage, but there's, like I said, there's like arrow slits and things looking out to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Following around, sorry, just north of that, it looks like there's a bit of a study / sitting room. The walls on this side are lined with bookcases. There's a reading desk here. It looks like there's a map of the Stratian Empire here on this wall. The map is outdated, though, because it shows Ardelir, Vogma, and what's the third one?
Vidun.
Yes, Vidun as separate from the Empire. They're clearly indicated as separate nations.
I might keep it.
There's a fireplace, not burning at the moment, but and there's no wood in it at the moment, but it looks like it is a working fireplace here.
I think in this room, Embers just stops and says, "Ellen, I thought we were going to have to furnish something like this ourselves. I was expecting a bare structure."
As was I. I'm as surprised as you are. This is beautiful. Ron will be happy to have a place to put all those books that we brought.
Where? And asking Charm, where did all this come from?
Beautiful.
The previous owner of the keep, you didn't actually interact with that much. He was an elven gentleman named Lord Mistralath. The person you interacted with more was his fairy dragon companion, whose name was Nim.
What's his full name?
The dragon. Her full name. Those dogs. I hope the audio is not picking up
It
the
is.
sound of the dogs. Oh, great.
I can go quiet them down if I need to.
The fairy dragon's full name is
Bring my dogs back down, maybe.
Put Luna in the crate.
Nimlilium. Yes, Nimlilium.
Can't even say it
pause.
once.
But she goes by
Okay,
Nim.
I'm gonna pause real quick.
Nimlil.
Bam. Unpaused.
And the only other thing that's really in this room is a... Oh, I should start the music again. Okay, there we go. And the only other thing that's really in this room is in this corner there's what looks like a sort of grandfather clock that's just kind of... Its pendulum is just swinging slowly back and forth, gently.
Elderly.
Across the far right tower, on the bottom side, there's another storage room, but it looks like this one has various weapons and some armor and things like that stored here in little racks along the wall. There's not a lot, but there's a little bit. Probably enough to outfit, 2 or 3 guards or something like that. Going north from there, there's a dining room area with beautiful wooden floors in this kind of shaded arrow-like pattern, with a rug at the entryway and 2 pairs of suits of armor, one at the the big double doors into the dining room, and a pair of the other pair of suits of armor kind of presiding over the table. Just north of the table, this picture frame on the wall here depicts an elven man in kind of a regal outfit of blacks and a little bit of probably greens and yellows, and he has just blonde hair that is tied back into a long ponytail, and perched on his shoulder is I can't remember what color she is.
Is it an ant?
No, it's not an ant. Let's see. A violet, dragon-like creature with butterfly wings.
Oh.
And he's kind of standing with his hands kind of like on the back of a chair, looking kind of imperiously down on the dining room area. On the other wall over here, I think there's there's a hole, there's the outline of a picture frame, and this is clearly where Night Mantis pulled the map of Amberhearth from. It's exactly that size and shape. As you go back into the kitchens, you can see there's several tables and some shelves with cutlery and containers and foodstuffs, and Dot is in here just kind of humming to himself as he makes himself a sandwich in this big kitchen area here. And a door in sort of the middle of the kitchen opens into what looks like a storage area. There's some big barrels and more like cutlery and dishes and a few more food supplies. And it looks like there's a trap door going downwards into maybe a cellar.
Mm.
And then, yes, in the northeast and northwest corners, there seem to be stone stairways that spiral upward and downward. Which way would you like to go?
Well, it's up to you, John. Which do you think we would be more interested in seeing first?
Let's head down.
All right.
Let's head down.
Let's head down.
We'll go to the basement floor. And I will reveal some areas.
Good.
It's so dark.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't
Dark
sure
down
how
here.
much you'd explore before you encountered people. So. Oops.
Charm also has dark vision, but not superior.
Well, I don't have superior dark vision anymore either.
I do.
First character that does.
Okay, I think I got it.
Oh, really?
Um,
So many races I would have figured you'd had it before.
As you come down one of these spiral staircases, either one you come down, there's sort of two paths forward. I don't know. Charm, which way do you go first? Sort of to the left? The horizontal path or the vertical path?
Are you interested in seeing anything in particular? Would you like to just go room by room?
We don't know what's down here, so
Yeah, you're
Okay.
the tour guide
Well,
here.
let's go horizontal. I'll show you this room first.
Okay. So the first room you step into, this one here, seems to be there's like brewing supplies, and it seems to be a cellar. There's a lot of like barrels of ale and wine and some sacks of flours and grains and things like that. And then there's even some supplies to maybe brew some of these things yourself. Maybe. Who knows if there's like a full set of supplies. North from there, there's another little storage area. This one's largely empty at the moment. You go back up into kind of the dark, dank hallway. There's torch sconces along the wall, but none of them are lit until the group of you come through here.
They light automatically as we come through, or we
no,
have to light them?
you'd have to light them.
Oh, okay. I think I can just do that with Druidcraft, right?
Yeah,
or is that
I think
only
so.
like campfires?
I think you could light a torch.
bonfire. Great bonfire.
Angelica's not here.
Oh.
As you walk along the hallway, though, you see two little rooms here, largely identical. They're like cells or
Oh.
like dungeon rooms. It doesn't look like they've seen much use, but there are little cots in there and like manacles attached to the floor.
Great.
Yeah, these rooms are covered in dust. It doesn't look like they've seen any use, but you have them. And then, yeah, this room here looks to be the room that the trap door up above descends down into from this ladder. It is a storage area filled with a jumble of crates, and then there's shelves lining this wall here. And yeah, that's the basement.
I want to check a couple of the crates just to make sure there are no weird animals or anything hiding inside of them.
Okay. Roll a. If you're looking for animals, you could roll an animal handling check if you want.
Sure.
Or you could do perception. Either one.
It's the same score. Great. 13.
As you're poking through the crates, you hear like a little squeak, and you
Like a
definitely
mouse or a rat.
scare away a mouse or a rat or something that goes darting into a hidey hole in the wall.
Well, if that's the worst we're going to find down here, I think we're fine.
Oh goodness, I'm so embarrassed.
Is
How'd
that
that happen?
is that little section in the middle in that room that we're in? That's not a doorway, right?
It's a shelf.
That's a shelf. Okay.
Yeah, and there's pots and things on it.
Yeah, it's a shelf, so...
So it isn't like shelves. Probably shouldn't talk about it. Okay. Thanks.
Great.
Uh,
Anything of note in the crates while I'm peeking in them for...
a lot of them are actually empty, but then the rest are just filled with like junk and just like various utensils and like unused supplies.
Are they like from any certain era? Like, are they just like old things?
Not
or
really.
are they-
No.
Okay.
I mean, some of them may be older than others. It looks like this was just where the previous owner threw junk. It's just like crates and crates
Just
full
like
of
open
junk.
the trap
I
door
don't
and
want to
throw
take
it
this
in.
with me, so I'm just gonna leave it
Yeah.
downstairs.
I think I'd ask Charm while we're down here. I'm surprised that a noble wouldn't have something like a wine cellar. I didn't see anything like that.
Oh, that was this room over here.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't quite look in there. Alright, cool.
We do have one.
Huh.
Yeah.
Ember's gonna climb this trap door. Go back up to the first floor.
Okay. I will take you all the way up to the second floor, so we
Okay.
can keep the tour going.
Yeah.
That ladder goes pretty high.
Yeah.
The ladder does not, but I will take you all the way up to
Okay, never mind.
Okay, let me just reveal this entire area. One.
Is that the reveal noise?
That is the reveal.
I like that
Yep.
noise.
The rooms to the left and right of the sort of sitting area where you met with Night Mantis and Dot seem to be bedrooms. Each of them has kind of a big, probably king-sized bed, and they're furnished with, like each of them has a wardrobe. Each of them has storage, like this one's got a chest. This one here has a kind of a desk with a little bit of a vanity mirror type thing. And I think these were shelves to the sides of it, but I can't remember if they have books on them or not. Those are the bedrooms. This one over here has some corner shelves here, which are nice. They go kind of floor to ceiling. Up to the very north here, you have a kind of reading nook area that it has a windowsill and looks out over the north end of the property. Down here to the south, you have a nice bathroom area with a nice tub, and there's a picture on the wall there of like a dragon's hoard, just like gold everywhere. It's beautiful.
Great.
Over here is that's the privy, so you can go there, do some business.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
This strange room over here, when you walk into this one, Charm, you would know this is Nim's room. It is made to look as if it were a fey forest. So there's like actual grass growing in this room, and plants. There's like a large mushroom patch and a big old mossy rock here, and it looks like vines and like tree roots growing from the wall. And then in the back of the room there is a big, like, floor to ceiling dollhouse. And Charm, you know that Nim lived within this dollhouse. It was a fairy dragon sized house within the major house.
Is it like big enough for like Malt to live in?
Yeah, yeah.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm. Or if Tuppence were still with you, she could have lived in this.
I
Yeah,
see.
it's got like several different distinct rooms. So
I think Malta's here to set up a different tavern or something.
Yeah, that's true.
but he could live in here for now.
Yeah.
And
I want-
then in
Before
this,
the tour continues, I think I want to ask Charm, where do you live?
I don't live here.
Oh.
I'm just caretaker.
Do you have a I guess is there
We
a little house on the grounds somewhere?
we live in town, but we've been staying here. I hope you don't mind, since the tragedy happened.
Oh no, I don't mind at all. I'm just trying to figure out which rooms are occupied already.
Well, they're yours for the taking. You own the deed.
I guess.
Well, we don't want to displace you, Charm, I think is what Embers is trying to say. At least not until your house is
Mhm,
free of
mhm, mhm.
its pest problem.
Dot walks by with a half-eaten sandwich and says, don't worry about it. We set up here, but we found sleeping bags, so it's fine. And just continues walking.
Alright.
What's the room on the bottom right? Did we talk about that one?
No, I didn't get to that one yet.
Nope.
The room in the bottom right looks to be a little temple area. There's like an altar in there.
Any specific
Roll a religion check.
affiliation? Cool.
I'll also roll
Something
one.
that I'm really great at. Oh boy.
Well, that's,
Not much better.
I got a 9.
11.
You're not sure. It is the room itself is not like designed for a specific god, but there are like things within the room, articles and objects that seem to be associated with a god of some kind. But I don't think with those checks either of you recognize which god it would be.
I guess I'd ask Charm then. Is this yours?
No.
Oh.
Previous owners.
Alright.
And the last things that are on this floor, there's another little windowsill nook looking out over the south side of the property. This one kind of is right over the path leading up to the keep. And there's a desk in the corner here with some more bookshelves. And there is a reading chair and sort of coffee table over here. There's some art on the wall here, but I can't remember what art that is.
I've lost track of where you are.
Down at the bottom.
Oh, down at the bottom. Yep.
Okay, never mind.
So yeah, there's the desk, the little reading area, the overhang over the path, and that's the second floor. Let me just show off all the maps.
Can I just say I want to walk around in this place for real? This looks really really
It's
cool.
funny you say that because I have a video which we can post later.
We can do a tour of the keep.
I'll take you up to floor 3, the final floor, and I'll just reveal it all. I don't know why I bothered hiding these. There we go.
Dogs. Oh, sorry.
So you come up to this floor from one of the tower stairways, both of which open up onto the sort of the parapets, the upper area of the keep, which seems to be an open rooftop garden. There's flower boxes and
I was excited about the roof.
hedges and things like that.
Aggressive.
Making fun of me.
Yes, roofs.
I must tell you, this is where I spend the majority of my time
Oh, it's beautiful.
working.
I can tell your touch that you've definitely cultivated a lot of things up here.
Thank you.
You're interested in botany?
Yeah, and selling any too.
Oh. I see. I don't see.
I don't know what botany is.
Taking care of plants and the like.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Me too. Maybe you could teach me some things.
I'm sure you're far superior.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, Charm, you know a lot about, like, cacti, but these plants are still kind of new to you.
Well, they're gorgeous.
Down in the bottom right-hand corner, there aren't, like, big tower walls. It looks like the tower structures are only in the back of the keep, and then on this side it's just more open parapets, right? But you have sort of a contained bonfire area here with little stone benches next to it.
I want this to be my house.
Right? And in the middle of the building you have a sort of a structure that kind of comes up off of this open area that has kind of big, like slanted, kind of arched roof to it. Very artistic. And Elvin, I think you would recognize kind of elven in design. And it's got probably skylights in it. This building seems to, or this structure on the very top of the keep seems to be a center for creative pursuits. There's a corner over here with like a painting palette. There's even a painting that's like partially done of two dragons, it looks like. There is some kind of small dragon skull on a plinth. There's another little reading area, some bookshelves. These things here in the middle are rotating bookshelves. There's a
Why
desk.
is that so cool? I don't know why, but it really is.
I don't know. I
Out
like
of
it.
the ordinary.
Ooh.
A
A piano.
Yeah, over here you've got another desk. There's, yes, a music area here with a piano and a harp. And there's windows looking outward.
Ambrose, this might be a good place for you to set up your sewing shop.
I was thinking about that.
You could fit a dress form. You could fit 10 dress forms in here.
I myself am trying to learn piano. She pops out her extra set of...
There you
Show-
go.
Show us. Play something.
Oh,
Roll a performance check.
I really am just learning, but I promise to give a performance in the future. But if you insist...
We do.
Well, roll that performance check.
Yep. Yep, it is a 1.
Oh my god.
These
Very enthusiastic though.
key instruments are not something that exist in the Spellscar Desert. You have like stringed instruments and drums and things like that, but these keys, they're still foreign to you.
So she's like got her big claws out, and then the little ones come in and go clink dink dink.
Gong-gong!
I'm gonna roll a deception check to see how well I can hide my distaste. Actually, pretty well. Yeah, that's a 15. Keeping a poker face.
Not bad.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, you guys are too kind. I know I stink.
Well, everyone's got to start somewhere, right?
Is there something you're equally bad at?
Oh, well, there are plenty of
No.
things. There are plenty of things.
And then the last thing that I will describe here is in the center of the room on the rug, there seems to be like a tea table, and it actually has a kind of like a gilded tea set on it, set with 4 places. And
There's
that's it.
4 of us.
That's your keep.
I love it.
It's incredible.
I love it so much.
It's incredible. I'm saying directly to the DM.
Well,
Yes.
thank you.
It's
It's
incredible.
incredible.
Thank you.
It's incredible.
I had a lot of fun designing it, so I'm glad you'd like it.
Charm, we owe you so much for keeping this place up
Oh,
for us.
You owe me nothing.
We had no idea what we would be walking into, but this is way beyond what I was expecting.
Who's been paying you since your master left?
Well, I get the pleasure of abiding here and using up the stores.
And Charm, I will this is something I probably should have told Melissa ahead of time. Amberhearth established it's not really a law, but it's kind of like a rule or a common practice about 5 years ago when Ardalier fell and joined the Empire. No one within the town needs to pay for basic goods and services. As long as you're contributing in some way to the town and its prosperity, its growth, its development, you don't pay for anything within the town, pretty much. Anything that's like sort of essential or necessary. So the idea of like who's paying you is almost a little bit weird to you, I suppose.
So they don't know it yet either.
Yeah, they don't know it yet, but
Okay.
that's something that Charm would know.
Okay. So yeah, payment is not anticipated nor needed.
Well, why not?
I earn my keep as well as everyone else in the Amberhearth.
Charm, it sounds like you've been exploited.
You
Who told you that you didn't need to be paid?
we trade services here, sir.
Oh,
So, in exchange for your services, you were getting rather than money. What service were you receiving?
Anything that I require. You'll see. You will love this town.
Huh.
It is a generous people when they return.
I see. Well, in any case, you have done a wonderful job keeping it up for us. So thank you.
Gladly.
yeah, yeah, what she said.
It is a very impressive edifice, is it not?
That it is.
It's so much more than I thought it would be, and I thought about it a lot. I whiled away so many hours dreaming of what this place might be and what we might be able to do to it.
We all did.
And it's we don't need to do anything. It's already perfect.
It's perfect. But I can't wait to play with the plants up here.
If I might be so bold, how did you acquire the deed from the Lord?
Well, we did a job, recovered some stolen goods. Was he the Lord, or did he just come across the deed?
Squall, you mean?
Yeah.
You don't know how Squall got the deed.
Yeah.
It
I don't
ended
know.
up in Squall's hands.
I don't know
somehow.
if he was the Lord, but he had the deed of this place.
I would be very curious.
He
to
runs an
delve
auction house, so I doubt it was
into
his
the history
deed.
of this keep.
Yeah.
There's
Did you
plenty
know
of
the
books. There
Lord?
might be
Yeah.
something like that
No,
here.
not
That's what I
well.
was going to
My
suggest.
dealings always ran through Nim.
The dragon. I see.
And where did the dragon go?
Somewhere.
You don't really know. Nim came to you, told you she was leaving. This was after Lord Mistralath died, about 5 years ago. Nim told you she was going to leave, and you don't really know where she went. She seemed pretty distraught, and she hasn't come back.
But I thought I only got here 3 years ago.
Oh, I thought you got here more recently than that. In that case, I will say Nim lived here until basically someone was there to take care of it, and then she left.
Okay.
My bad.
How long have you been here?
About 3 years. My notes say, but we could have talked about something different. And I
No,
didn't write
I'm
it
probably
down.
wrong.
See.
Phew. Well, do we need to rest her anymore, or should we go roll up our sleeves and get to work?
Well, if we take a short rest, I can get the spell slot I used to cast spells without trace back.
I mean, does this
If we
count as
need
a
it.
short rest? Or, like...
Yeah, your tour
this
can count
counts-
as a short rest.
If this counted as a short rest, but then I won't be able to use the feature again today, but
Which feature?
my feature to recover a spell slot during a short rest, natural recovery.
But that's what you're using to get the spell slot back, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But if we need to take a short rest later, and if I need to recover more spell slots, I won't be able to use it again. But I'll go ahead and use it now.
What would the group of you like to do?
I think I'm ready to
Yeah,
look at
where's-
that map again.
Yeah, where's Ryan been in all this?
I've been following just
Okay.
quietly.
Okay.
Do you find a time while maybe Elwyn's taking care of the horses and Embers is checking out some obscure corner of the keep to
Yeah, sure.
corner Night Mantis?
Yeah.
Inventorying our wine situation.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get some music.
Is Rhyme spelled like Rhyme?
Mm-hmm.
You find a moment to kind of get Night Mantis by yourself, and I'll let you decide which part of the keep you want that to happen in.
Probably just the room with the map that we were talking, where we first met her, or met the other people.
When it's the two of you by yourself, she kind of gives you a bit of a bow and says, Prince Vertinor?
Not like shut the door behind me.
Yeah, well, she's very careful.
Yeah, and I'll just drop the disguise.
I'm glad to see that you're safe.
Yeah, you as well. Likewise.
She pulls out of, she's got a little satchel, she pulls out of it the copy of the journal that you gave her. I've done a lot of reading through this, and it's very worrisome.
I think so too.
That was weird.
Also worrisome.
Yep, the music just then. Unfortunately, a lot of what I see and hear lines up with things that I feared about my home. I was on my way back there to check in and see the state of things when I heard about this town, and I something about it seems fishy.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it past this League of Terrors to be up to something here too.
And I'm not going to pry, but if you ever want to give me more details about your current missions and where you're going and stuff like that, I'm open to. I'll listen.
Can you roll me a persuasion check?
Okay. Let's see. That's a 18.
Yeah, you can really only see like the lower half of her face, but a little bit of a smile comes to her. It's kind of like a faint smile, almost like she's forcing herself to put on that smile, right?
Okay.
It doesn't come to her naturally, and she says, I promise that someday I will tell you more about myself and everything that I've been through, because you deserve to know. I owe you that much, but I'm not ready to admit the shames of my past just yet.
We can focus at the task at hand, then.
She nods. I think that would be wise. And perhaps after we've dealt with all of this, before I move on
If
back
you're ready.
towards my home, we can talk.
Sure.
Yeah, she kind of hangs her head a little bit and shakes it and says, I do owe you that much.
So, I mean, maybe this isn't too much. How did you get caught up in this? And he kind of gestures around.
It's just, like I said, I was on my way back home and heard the rumors about what was happening here, came to see, and I just couldn't leave a whole town worth of people to lose their homes. Like, I couldn't pass by and do nothing. So I met up with Charm. That was a bit of a tense encounter at first. I'd never met a bug person.
I'm sure your disguise helped ease that discomfort a little bit.
It doesn't help with the first time that she talks in your head. No,
Sure.
it does not. And yeah, I haven't been here too long, but we've just been scouting and trying to figure out what the path of least resistance is, to get down underground and see what's actually happening, where these winds are coming from. And she kind of steps forward a little bit, And she lowers her voice and just says, "The winds are strange. They're constant. It's not like a normal weather pattern. They don't ebb and flow and stop and start. It is a constant rush of wind up from underground. Something is happening down there."
Well, before we go on that topic further, we should probably get everybody else in here. But before that, is there anything you want to talk with just us for now?
She steps back from you a little bit because she had stepped closer to kind of, confide that. And she brings sort of those neon goggle covered eyes up to even with your eye level, and she looks at you and says, no, like I said, not just yet.
That's fine.
I will tell you everything someday. Once we've dealt with all of this, I promise, I swear to you.
Okay.
We will talk.
That's fine. So these people that you're working with, they're good people?
Charm's a bit weird. Dot's friendly enough.
Okay.
He's not very useful, though. And Dot's... He's good company. We'll say that.
Okay. But they're trustworthy.
I'd say so.
Okay. Is there any other able bodies in the town that...
Charm told me the town had some Imperial wardens, but they're gone. I don't know where they've set up camp, but surely somewhere nearby.
Okay.
Surely there were other groups in the town who might have been able to help with something like that, but as far as I can tell, they've dissipated to surrounding areas that aren't so threatened. So we could potentially seek out allies, but it would involve going to nearby towns.
Okay. We can discuss that with everybody else. And how long have you been here?
A week or two, a couple weeks.
A week or two?
Not
And
terribly long.
This has been going on the whole time?
She nods.
Is it...
The ants seem fairly contained to the city, though. They forage the city day and night for food, and sometimes they carry down pieces of buildings.
Interesting.
Now that the people are out of the city, it doesn't seem like there's any terrible danger, but if you get too close to the ants, they do have a bit of a violent bent to them.
I see.
Charm and I have had a skirmish or two. Nothing too serious, just on the fringes of the city.
Okay. Well. Yeah, I guess. Let's see what we can do.
She gives you not really a low bow, but sort of a little bit of a bow, and says, "I'm happy that you're here and safe, and honored to have you and your group assist with this. I don't know that Charm and I would have been able to take care of this issue on our own, so I feel reassured."
Yeah, I'm happy to see you too.
And she gives another forced smile.
Well, I guess at this point let's get the others and see if we can't come up with a plan.
That sounds good. That sounds great. And she kind of puts the picture frame back on the table again, and kind of resumes staring at it.
I'd like to say at some point when we're on our tour or whatever, Evelyn fills Embers in on how we know Night Mantis.
Okay.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Just like in kind of a hushed
Yeah.
situation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll take it by myself to go and find people, and
Round everybody up.
we're gonna have a strategy meeting.
Okay, where do you want to have it? You've got a whole key.
Oh, well, I think. Let's see.
Should I turn off the map, Pam? Or are we gonna...
I mean, I can drag it to wherever you have the meeting,
Okay.
if you want.
That's fine, doesn't matter.
I mean, the upstairs area is nice, but it's not enough seating for
Can-
everybody, huh?
If we are upstairs at the top level, can we actually see all
Yes.
the different anthills? Let's have it up there then.
Let's-
Yeah.
Yeah, we can have it up there.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Kind of correlate.
Then I can
the-
make some tea for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, these sort of more southern tower tops, the one with the sort of hedge garden and the one with the little fireplace, those have a nice view because the tower's kind of up on a hill overlooking the valley that the town is set in. They have a nice view looking down on the rest of the town.
Okay.
Great.
So everyone gathers there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't speak to which of these locations that you've scouted would be the best to start with, but I can send a companion spirit not too dissimilar from your little friends here to go scout ahead if we want to check out one or two of them. That's an option.
Which one's closest? Which one can we get to without going through a bunch of ants?
The closest one is the northwestern anthill, which is kind of on the edge of the city.
We could start there if there's no preference to any of the others.
Well, I can tell you that these ants are incredibly, incredibly strong.
Great.
Very, very powerful.
When you say strong, do you mean hard to kill or very dangerous?
They powerful. They can carry like 20, 30, 40 times their own weight.
Charm, do you want to roll a like a nature or a survival check? And I'll tell you if you've learned anything about these anthills as you've been scouting.
Nature check. Okay, that's an 18.
18. That's pretty good.
Mm.
Let's see. Where's my notes on it? The central anthill, the one that's in kind of the middle of the town, seems to get the most traffic, and you probably haven't really been able to get close to that to see down into it to see how deep it is. The other ones, I'll say you've gotten close enough to see how deep they go. The northwestern one, let's see. Here we go. The northwestern one looks like it descends about 1,000 feet. The northeastern one, maybe closer to 500. The southwestern one goes down maybe 1,500 feet, and the southeastern one goes down even deeper than that.
And are these just like straight drops? Or
There are a lot of portions that the tunnel curve, like it's not a perfectly straight cylinder or anything
Yeah.
like that. It kind of goes back and forth a little bit, but largely yes, vertical shafts.
Just a vertical shaft. Okay.
So you'll need to climb whichever way you're going. Down into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been down any of these before?
Just to see how deep they go. No, not any further.
Alright.
Yeah, so you probably haven't been like beyond the lip of any of these.
Yeah.
And then it's been a matter of like dropping a coin, waiting for it to hit to sort of gauge the depth. That sort of thing. Nightman just kind of looks around the group of you and says, "Any bright ideas?"
Well, my companion can only telepathically communicate with me, or I can't. it needs to stay within 100 feet of me if I'm going to do recon through its eyes. Now, it can go further than that, but there won't be much, I think, we can learn from it that way. Of course, I can also turn myself into something that can climb, and I can go down myself and see what's down there.
Ember's, like, hearing this, like, kind of, like, looks out over the city again, trying to find if there's a place where, like, the ants aren't going.
Place where the ants aren't going. Roll a perception check.
Okay. Ugh, it's an 8. 2-1 die.
They're just kind of swarming all over this place, and at your brief glance just now, it's a little bit overwhelming.
Okay, yeah. Ember's, like, steps back a little bit, like, over, like, dizzy. Well, I guess there was this silly idea. I was thinking if you could turn into, like, a big vole or something and dig our own tunnel down. But that would probably take a long time.
Night Mantis kind of looks towards Embers and says, well, I've been thinking about this for a little bit, but there are the amber mines. I don't know if they connect to the anthills, but we could try there.
Is that the thing we passed on the way in?
Probably.
So,
It looked like it was flooded.
I might...
The quarry was flooded, but before the quarry, there was a path that went off to, like, a mine shaft entrance. That didn't look flooded.
Okay.
I also... Wait, what is this thing that I have?
You seen any ants coming from there?
She shakes her head, and just give me a sec. Dot will chime in here with something. Dot chimes in and says, yeah, the Amber Mines. That's where the Shovel Sharp clan lives, or lived. I don't think they're there right now.
Shovel Sharp?
Mm-hmm. Bunch of dwarves. The mines don't produce too much these days. They were more profitable ages and ages ago, but trying to remember all these new characters. Leader of the Shovel Shark clan, what was his name?
Sorry, you said a shoe sharks?
The shoe sharks.
I thought I had it written.
You know, that young Rurik Shovel Sharp, he keeps them at it, keeps people going, so.
Seems like maybe a good thing and a bad thing that they've not seen any ants. Means they're not coming from there, but it also means it
Might not be connected.
Used to be tunnels in there that went real deep down in the earth.
It could also be that it gets close enough to a tunnel that we could break that wall down.
It's true.
Get an entry point.
I reckon it would be better to use one of the ant hills that we know is connected rather than messing with
Mine.
the structure of a mine.
Good point. We don't want to bring the whole place down around us.
Exactly.
Well, the other thing is, if it's a mine, it might have explosives, and it's possible that we can use those inside of an anthill that we're not going to go in to.
I'm going to leave that to you.
I will say that the Shovel Sharp clan, they did live in there, so, I mean, and there might be explosives as you get deeper and deeper into where they were actually mining, but there's livable area.
Sure.
What do you think? The two of you? Try the mines or jump down a pit?
More on the what you guys have observed the past couple of weeks or however long this has been going on. You've seen it, like, they're attracted to food and other materials around the town.
Do you want to roll another? This one would be a survival check specifically.
Keeps falling off. Okay, so not good. Oh, but I have a +9, so that makes that a 22.
So pretty good.
Good, but a 22.
Yep.
Yeah,
Say
the
that
ants
again.
carry a variety of things down into their ant hills, but something that Charm knows is they carry different things down into different anthills. That central one, the central one is actually, you see more ants pouring out of it than you really do going down it. The northeast one tends to be a lot of like food supplies and like building scraps and things like that. The northwestern one, you've actually seen them like bringing water. Like they seem to have like scavenged like pots and pans and things like things that will hold water, and they will bring water down into that one from like the lake that is in that area in the northwest. From the southwest, you actually don't see a ton of them bringing stuff. Ones go up and down from there, but they don't really bring much from there. With your check, though, I'll say that when this initial thing happened, you saw them carrying like animals and livestock down there. The southeastern one is interesting among all of them, in that the only things that really get carried down there are dead ants. When you or Night Mantis has killed one of these big ants, some other ants will come up out of that one, like big, bulky, like strong-looking ants, and they will carry that thing, the dead ant, down that one.
Sean, have you ever seen an ant carry a crate?
Sure.
They're carrying many things, many things, buildings,
Do they carry
food.
people as well? Do they
Carry down foes
You
as
know,
food.
we've got crates here. We could maybe make these ants work for us.
bring us down the tunnels?
Mm-hmm.
You're suggesting we go inside the crates and...
And wait,
Oh my goodness.
But
wouldn't have to fight anything.
person
Easy
Amber,
ride.
That's true.
they have a very, very powerful sense of smell, I must warn you.
I was actually going to ask about that.
Well, I was also going to ask, with my knowledge of nature and normal ants,
Sure.
when it comes to pest control, is there a way, like, is it possible to, like, smoke ants out of an anthill, or any
roll,
sense or things that they would be averted?
Roll
or
an
aversion?
intro check.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Natural 20!
Oh, no way.
That's a 26 total.
This is Ethan frantically trying to remember all the ant research he
Ant
did.
research.
I don't think... Oh, thank you. Are these the ant facts I listed
Reagan,
for
we
you?
For the
Well,
podcast
yeah.
listeners, Melissa just pulled out a page from her notes of ant research, I assume, and handed it to the DM. Here you go.
Yeah, it says, "Hey Melissa, I'm doing some planning today. Part of that involves some research into ant behavior."
You just print out the conversation.
Subheading
I'm
Ant
very
Facts for
proud.
Tron. No, this is really helpful. I have this in my notes, but I was going to have to switch notes to get to it. So,
Meta Melissa strikes again.
yeah. Ants use scents to communicate. So, like, when they die, they produce a chemical that, draws other ants to, like, carry them away, that sort of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Scents are very important to ants. There are some that they don't like the scent of peppermint. It's not like enough to, like, you would need a powerful scent of peppermint to drive them out of the area entirely. But you could maybe repel an individual one or two with the scent of peppermint, something like that.
Great. So I'll say to the group, I'm not sure what would be required for ants of this size, but I do know there are certain scents that they have an aversion to. So if we wanted to keep them away from a place that we were entering, maybe
The smell spell.
the smell spell?
Ember's just like nods. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure that would be powerful enough.
Oh.
We'd have to find a way to amplify it. It's like I can make the immediate area smells like peppermint if I wanted to, but...
I'm still getting the hang of this magic thing.
I can also do so.
Because that's a cantrip. I think does minor illusion also do, I think...
My tinkering can do odors as well.
How powerful is that?
Emits odor or non-verbal sound, static visual effect up to 25.
I mean, we could test it out. I can use my magic to create the smell of peppermint, and I just do it because it's a cantrip.
Charm flicks their wrist and says, I can cast webs.
Might also be helpful.
Okay, I don't want. Now, I'm not sure.
Like Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Are you webbing Embers up?
No.
Okay.
She's just pantomiming.
Okay.
Messing with you?
But yeah, I can make this
Owen,
sensory effect, but it's a 5-foot cube. Yes.
is there a way that we can potentially create a scent that would be the same as the ants, so they would see us as friends?
I don't know about that. We might have to find a carcass and.
Or make a carcass. Embers
Yeah.
cracks her knuckles.
That's what I was thinking.
But then it would be the same thing. They'd be carrying us down. But
If you roll on top of a dead ant, they will think you are a dead ant.
exactly.
They will carry you down to their
I like this
cemetery.
idea better than the crate idea.
But
Yes,
But
but
what about
it's
a scent
unsure
of a
if
live
all
ant,
the-
so then they just don't bother us if we pass by?
if it's unsure if the tunnels connect.
The other thing I'll say with Owen's natural 20, like, it's not that they wouldn't bother you, it's like they'd come up and interact with you, because ants, like, they interact, like, face to face and, like, will exchange scents and, like, and touch with their antennas and stuff like that. So, like, their communication is more complicated than if you smell like an ant, they won't interact with you. It's like, if you smell like an ant, they'll come up in and, like, check
yeah,
status.
I'm not
and,
sure that we want to try and disguise ourselves as them unless we know how to pretend to be them, and we are very small compared to them. I think that finding a way to keep them away from us might be a little bit safer than trying to make them believe that we're friendly and leave us alone.
Well, I think first is we need to know how tough these ants really are, because if we're gonna go into their nest, I think that's the first thing we do is gauge the enemy's strength, because there's gonna be countless numbers of them. We need to know how safe we will be.
I mean, it's possible that I can just fill a 5-foot cube with peppermint smell every once in a while, but I'm not sure that'll be enough to.
Not when we're in there, if that's where we're going.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Like,
it would just be like our
safety bubble.
our safety bubble, but it's only a 5-foot cube, so it would be me basically.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that the ones that they were taking the dead ants to, that was the deepest hole?
Yes, that's the deepest you've observed. You haven't observed the central shaft, though.
I would definitely be interested in exploring the deepest hole.
I wonder if that's just like a
grave.
grave.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd want to see where they've been taking the construction materials and such too, right? That's
Question for the
basically.
DM.
That is true.
Would I know, having observed them for these past few weeks, would I know about the queen now? Would I know all that data?
I mean, like, normal-sized ants have a queen, and I suppose you would probably know a very good way to exterminate an anthill is to kill the queen.
So I would relay that.
I would also know that with my natural 20.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
both of you would
So-
know that.
Yeah.
You both know it.
Would it be worth it
You
to
nature friends.
Nature friends.
friends. Would it be worth it to like potentially paint some of the ants or try and mark them so we see them? We can find which ones are going in and out which holes, and if they do connect, maybe Ant A will go in one
What
hole
would
and come
that-
out a different hole,
What would that tell us?
whether they connect or not.
Oh.
Yeah.
That way we don't get sucked down a 1,500-foot hole that's not escapable.
A lot of options.
But I mean, how much time do we have too? Is there actually like
You
a...
want to pipe in like I know you and I can't. Never
You can still pipe in. What do you want to say, John?
You talked about sending creatures to scout.
Yes, I'm not.
Can you make an ant?
I could summon a companion for 2 hours and send them in one hole and see if they can come out another one.
Night Mantis perks up and kind of makes eye contact with Elwyn and says, "Can you turn into an ant?"
What? Yes. Not one that. I don't know if I could turn into a giant ant. Probably not. Are they challenge rating 1/2 or lower?
Let's take a look.
Are giant ants in the monster manual?
They are not.
Yeah.
But they are monsters that I made.
I mean, maybe I could try. I could
can
turn
only
into a
do-
giant spider.
Are
So
there
You can
different-
only do 1/2 or lower.
Are there different
Yeah.
types of giant ants? Because, like, I know that meta knowledge, like, there's a whole bunch of different types
Ooh,
of ants, right?
Metazac.
Metazac.
But, like, maybe there's a smaller version, like a weaker version, that's like a worker instead of like a
I mean,
soldier ant or
Elwyn
something.
would know probably the majority of what you're seeing are worker ants, which
Okay.
probably the least threat.
That's the lowest on the
Yeah.
chain. I mean, I wouldn't know without getting a closer look. Have I done a spider? I feel like I've turned myself into a spider before.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can turn myself into some things like that, but I don't know. I don't know. I could try. But I could also turn myself into something extremely small. Like a small spider or something that, or something else with a climb speed.
The
Sneak
ants
in,
would
and,
probably ignore something like that.
sneak in and take a look. Or for that matter, just send a companion. If all we want to know is if the tunnels are connected.
Yeah, we could do that first. Wow, I don't see why we can't do both plans. I'd like to fight an ant.
Well,
Me
why
too.
don't we can fight an ant and I can see if I can
Mm-hmm.
turn myself into one, maybe. Then y'all can get in a crate and I can carry you down.
Oh, I like that idea.
If I can turn into an ant at all.
We'll see.
Well, it sounds like we have some plans, Night Mantis says, and she kind of looks out over the town.
I might end up being a blue ant. Is that going to be a problem?
Ants don't use their eyes as much as they use sense and sounds and vibrations, so should be fine.
It's true.
Yeah.
Nature friends know this.
Nature friends know
But why so sad?
this.
Night Mantis kind of looks out at the town as the sun is starting to go down over Amberhearth now that you've arrived and kind of had a day to sort of set up and explore the keep and strategize and plan. And a true smile comes to her lips and she nods and says, "We can do this." And on that note, we'll end tonight's episode of Antiheroes Anonymous.
Woo!
So thank you all for playing. Thank you for everyone who came to join. Apologies if there was any weirdness as we're figuring out the new setup. Hopefully it all went fine in this recording.
Just a couple of noisy dogs.
Yep. We'll be back with more of this Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So hope to see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.